to the USA Powerlifting Pro Series bench. I know.
Oh, this is super small. Is there only one flight? Two. I forgot there's only 15 lifters. All right. Ready? All right. Welcome back. We are in Columbus, Ohio at the USA Powerlifting Arnold event. We are about to start the Pro Series Bench Finals. All of these powerlifters are pros, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to see some awesome benching today. We've got both raw and equipped lifters, men and women, and we have people of all ages, all shapes and sizes, getting ready to come out and bench. The bar is being loaded to 75.5 kilos for Tammy to start out.
We've got 16 lifters lifting in the Arnold Series Pro Series Bench Finals. We've got 9 lifters in the first flight and 7 in the second. We've got combined both equipped lifters as well as raw lifters. We'll be starting off with Tammy Lauer, who was lifting also on Friday in the bench, Masters of Iron bench. She lifted both equipped and raw at that contest.
Thank you for tuning in with us today. My name is Samantha Oceanero, commentator with Barbell Productions, and I'm here with
Kathy Marksteiner. This is the 16th year USA Powerlifting has been at the Arnold Sports Festival. Our first year was 2008. And we were excited to be back here again in Columbus, Ohio with the USA Powerlifting at the Arnold Sports Festival. This is the Arnold Pro Series Bench Finals, and we'll be kicking off very, very shortly with Tammy Lauer as our first lifter. On deck after that will be Shelly Brown and then Rachel Hannon.
This weekend has been electric. We have seen some phenomenal records broke. We have seen some awesome squatting, some awesome benching, and some awesome deadlifting. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, these are pro powerlifters. They know what they're doing. They know their way around a barbell, and they know how to bench. So it is going to be electric in here. The crowd is getting behind these lifters. Tammy with 171 pounds to open up.
Although Tammy said that she is lifting equipped, she's lifting with just a t-shirt on, which puts her lifting raw, and that could definitely change on her second and third attempt. Again, just a real quick reminder about the rules of powerlifting for bench press. This is a bench press only competition, and the bench press only, there are 3 lifts. Everyone wants to get in the competition with their first attempt, then the second one starts to build it, and then the third one finishes it off. The lifters are competing across all weight classes, the equipped women, equipped men, raw women, raw men. So the way that we do that is we use a DOTS coefficient. When the lifters weigh in, they have their body weight. That body weight provides us with the coefficient, and that coefficient times their final. Most successful bench press gives us a bench press coefficient total. Whoever has the highest bench press coefficient total is going to win some money. And today, The first place winners will win $2,000, second place $1,000, and third place $500. Shelly Brown took her first attempt. She's lifting in the equipped division. She had 92.5 kilos on the bar.
It looks like she possibly misgrooved it, did not get that first lift. I think she pitched forward a little bit. The bar fell towards her head slightly, but it didn't look like a strength issue. It looked like a slight misgroove in her bench shirt. Keep in mind, folks, the bench shirts are extremely difficult to move in. We have been explaining it in the way that it's not so much that you're letting the bar fall down to your chest. It is almost as if you're pulling that bar to your chest because of the elasticity of those bench shirts. Raw lifter here, Rachel, opening with 97.5 kilos, which is 215 pounds. Got 3 red lights, all yellow for that. Let's see if we can see what the judges saw.
So when Rachel was setting up, her fingers were outside of the 81 centimeter ring. All 3 referees gave a yellow card, which could be from the time that they set up where she shifted her hand position to she moved her feet or did not have them flat on the floor.
Charlene coming up next, 121 kilos is loaded on that bar for her, which is approximately 264 pounds.
And Charlie is lifting equipped. You can see that she got to the top and there was a slight bobble up and down, but the referees say it was a good lift.
For anybody who is unaware how scoring works in powerlifting, the 3 circles on your screen are called the lights. White lights means it's good, red lights means it's not good. You need 2 out of 3 white lights in order for it to count. And you also must have 1 successful lift of your 3 attempts in order to post an official total.
Natalie Richards is on the platform right now. She's asked for 125 kilos, 275 pounds. And Natalie is a very experienced lifter at the high level. She's 11-time national competitor. She's been to the Arnold Sports Festival 3 times. Her mother, Elizabeth Richardson, competed on Friday in another contest. So there's a lot of experience within that family. Natalie just recently moved down to Florida from South Dakota and owns records in both states. Up next is someone who needs no introduction other than to just introduce her name, Jennifer Thompson. Jennifer Thompson, the pound-for-pound strongest female lifter in the world, bench presser. But not to say that she is just a bench presser. No, ladies and gentlemen, she owns records in North Carolina and in American records in all 4 disciplines, in the squat, bench, total, and deadlift.
She is phenomenal. I'm not going to lie, I'm a huge Jen Thompson fan, and she moves her opener of 125 kilos like it's nothing. Jen Thompson has been here all weekend. She competed in full power, correct? She did straight curl, and I believe she is reffed this weekend as well. Reffed. Did she ref this weekend as well?
She did referee. She is an international Category 2 referee, as well as one of the state chairs of North Carolina. She's also on our international committee. She carries a lot of gravitas, but one of the most excellent ambassadors you could ever have in powerlifting. On the platform right now, though, is Sophie Beres.
130 kilos for her first attempt. That's 286 pounds.
And Sophie competed this morning in the in the Pro Equipped Series final and took first place based on Dot's score as well.
Keeping with equipped, she's competing equipped in the Pro Series bench finals as well. But Nadia is coming up next at 135 kilos, approximately 297 pounds. I would not be surprised at all if she breaks that 300 mark easy on her second attempt.
As each lifter gets their opening attempt, then they get on the board with a dot score, and that gives us a forecast that we can then go with.
And if anybody is curious to follow along online, you can go to LiftingCast.com and click Arnold Pro Series Bench Finals, and you can follow along your favorite lifters or your loved ones, friends, family, anybody that you are cheering on from home. It will show you the order, it will show you attempts, and it will also show you dots and where everybody is in the placement as far as winning that money.
Stephanie Brunkhorst is on the platform now, 160 kilos, 352 pounds. She's lifting equipped, and Stephanie hails from the state of Wisconsin. She's been to nationals, and this is her second time at the Arnold Sports Festival. Pulling the bar down to her chest. She gets the signal to press and locks it out. We wait for the referee's signals. Again, there's only 9 lifters in this flight. This will be a quick competition as they're only doing 3 bench press attempts at each time. Going back up to the top of the roster, starting second attempts again, Tammy Lauer, 82.5 kilos. This is 181 pounds. And again, while Tammy has entered the equipped division, she's lifting raw. Tammy lifted on Friday, both raw and equipped, where what she did was in the first flight she lifted raw, put a bench shirt on in the same contest, and lifted in the later flight as an equipped bench presser. She's got the bar out of the rack, and Tammy weighed in at just under 167.5 kilos, or just under 148 pounds.
Moved to that second attempt pretty seamlessly, got 3 white lights. That's a good lift for her. Only took a 5 kilo jump, with Shelly coming up next, retaking 92.5 kilos, approximately 204 pounds for her second attempt. Didn't get it on her first try. Looked like a possible miss group. So let's see Shelly execute 92.5 kilos.
That was a no lift. She was not able to successfully complete that lift. I look forward to her putting in 92.5 kilos again.
Next up, Rachel, 102.5 kilos, approximately 226 pounds for her second attempt. She is a raw lifter. This is easily over 1.5 times her body weight.
Rachel traveled all the way here from Alaska. This is her second time at the Arnold, and she's been to nationals 3 times. She was not successful with that attempt, and she had gone up by 5 kilos.
She will have to get that third attempt to post a total today.
Moving to 130 kilos, 286 pounds. Up next is going to be Charlene Balser, Rowan Camp. And Charlene is from the state of Minnesota. Although she's in the open division, she's also eligible to set records in the Masters 1 division. She holds American records in the equipped open division out of 56 kilos and the open and Masters 1. That looks like a good lift. Trying to get her on the board. Yes, she's got a 286. Okay, so that now has her in first place in the equipped women's division. In the raw women's division, Jennifer Thompson is our scoreboard leader at this time. Our scoreboard leaders in the equipped division at this time are Charlene Rowenkamp, Stephanie Brunkhorst, and Sophia Barras. On the platform right now at 132.5 kilos is Natalie Richardson, and this is 292, And don't blink, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very experienced lifter. Natalie owns a lot of the state records in Florida and South Dakota, both as a raw lifter and equipped lifter. She's been setting records since she was a teen lifter, 16 and 17 years old, 11 times at nationals. On the platform now, equipped lifter Sofia Barras, Doctor of Physical Therapy.
137.5 kilos on the bar for her. That's approximately 303 pounds. Breaking that 300 point. Took a 7.5 kilo jump.
This will tie her qualifying total for this competition.
Wow. Did you see that speed? That was phenomenal. She looks pretty pleased with that. 3 white lights.
Sophie is quite the technician, and this definitely shows it.
Absolutely. Jen Thompson coming up next, also taking 137.5 kilos.
This is a 12.5 kilo jump, and this is only 303. She does hold the world record at 146.5, which is 323. And Jen set not only did it set the open, but because of her age, it set the Masters 2 record. And then because it's higher than the Masters 1 record, it flowed down to the younger age division. So it was the open, M2 and M1 world record all at one time.
3 white lights for Jen. Looked pretty pleased with that second attempt. It moved pretty fast too. I want to see her load some more weight on the bar.
All right. Nadia is our next lifter. She's a raw lifter. She's currently in 3rd place. With this lift, she's projected to stay in 3rd.
142.5 kilos, approximately 314 pounds on that bar.
Again, 1st place will earn $2,000. 2nd place, $1,000. 3rd place will earn $500. So placing based on dots is important. A nice fight.
Looked pretty solid. Let's see what the judges say. 3 white lights, that's a good lift. For anybody just joining us who does not know, these are all pro powerlifters, ladies and gentlemen. They know what they're doing. They have made their way around a barbell plenty of times. Our last second attempt in flight D is 167.5 kilos for Stephanie. Finding that arch, getting set exactly where she wants to be. Pulling that bar down to her chest. Pretty solid drive there. Let's see what the judges say. 3 white lights. That's a good lift for Stephanie. And we are moving on to the 3rd attempts for this flight. These are the last benches these lifters will be doing. And kicking it off with 3rd attempts is Tammy, 87.5 kilos. Only took a 5 kilo jump for her 3rd attempt. Come on, push. Just a little bit too much weight. But Tammy has been here all weekend. She has been killing it. She has been lifting some heavy weight and still walking away with plenty to be proud of. 92.5 kilos being loaded on that bar for Shelly again. She needs this to post a total. Since she was unsuccessful in her first 2 lifts, she has got to get this, ladies and gentlemen. The crowd is getting behind her, cheering for her to get this lift so that she can post a total for the day.
Shelly absolutely needs this lift.
She's only lifting in a t-shirt equipped, not wearing a shirt.
Push, push, come on. Had some slight.
So the question is, did the bar move down
Up and
or did
down.
she keep it going up?
2 white lights, and that's all you need, ladies and gentlemen. That's a good lift for her. One of the side refs called up and down motion, but 2 white lights is all you need.
That puts her in 4th place for the women's equipped division.
And we've got Rachel coming up next, retaking 102.5 kilos, approximately 226 pounds. Rachel also needs this to post a total for the day. She must get this bench. Come on, Rachel. Push, push. What do the judges have to say? Oh, yellow lights for all 3
They were
judges.
all yellow, so there are so many different reasons why she did not get that lift, but it was a unanimous decision by the referees that it was a yellow card. So she will not post a total, and she is not eligible for the awards on that.
What did you see on that bench?
Because the camera angle is fixed and I'm not in a position where the referees are, I cannot comment on it.
Yes. We're not in the best position back here to see all the different things that the refs on the platform can see. Could have possibly been the bottom or the feet lifting off their points of contact. But we've got Charlene with 135 kilograms, approximately 297 pounds. Come on. The question is, did we have any up and down motion? The judges say 3 white lights.
It was a good lift, so she finishes with 3 for 3.
And that just moved her into the 1st place position.
Okay, this is going to be a record. Okay.
All right, Natalie going for a record 137 kilograms, 303 pounds loaded on that bar.
So this is 137 kilos, which is not an even divisible number of 2.5, which means that we are chipping a world record. And Natalie is now going to own a world record with the 3 white lights. She went up to 137, and she took it from Mai Tai Oscar, who set this at Bench Nationals in 2022. So that is our 2nd successful world record today. The first one was the one that we saw with Daryl Funk in the Masters World 2, World Masters 2. Now we've seen Natalie set that one, and she owns the state records and now also the American record in the 82.5 single bench press record.
We knew we were going to be seeing some records broken. Nadia coming up next, 145 kilos, 319 pounds on that bar. Come on, push, Nadia, push. Just a little bit too much weight. Like we said, ladies and gentlemen, lots of records have been broken this weekend, and we might see a couple more today. Same weight, 145 kilos, is staying on that bar for Sophia coming up next. Only a 2.5 kilo jump for her. Oh, I'm sorry, a 7.5 kilo jump. I can't do math.
So Sophia is currently in 3rd place in the Women's Equipped Pro Series bench. In 3rd place, with this lift, she would stay in 3rd place. She would still stay in the money because the top 3 winners will receive money today.
Her 2nd attempt moved pretty well, so let's see how this 3rd attempt looks. Come on, Sophia. Come on, Sophia. That looked pretty smooth to me. Let's see what the lights are.
Sophia, it is a good lift for Sophia. 1 red light with the yellow card. And Sophia, who is such a technician, went 9 for 9 this morning in our very first competition, the Equipped Pro Series final. Went 2 for 3 here with back-to-back competitions. She finishes with a 142.5, and she is in 3rd place in the dot score. Up next is Jennifer Thompson, 1.5 kilos under her world record of 146.7, 146.5. She's got 145 on the bar. This is 319.
Just a little bit too much for her today, but she doesn't seem too upset about it. Next up, Stephanie, 170 kilos, approximately 374 pounds. I repeat, that is 374 pounds for her 3rd attempt.
Let's talk about the dots change on this. With Stephanie, currently she's in the 3rd place with the equipped women's dot scores. With this lift, she will successfully jump over 2nd place to 1st place. And that would then take the 2nd place lift for 1st place lifter, Charlene, down to 2nd place. Tremendous variability and movement possible with this lift.
Come on, Stephanie.
Let's see what the judges say, because this will make all the difference.
And it's good with
It's a good lift.
White lights. We have
that moves Stephanie into 1st place with the women's equipped, and Jennifer Thompson 1st place in the raw. So in the equipped division, it is going to be Stephanie, then Charlene, then finally Sofia Barras. In the raw division, we've got Jennifer Thompson, then it's going to be Natalie Richardson, and then finally it will be Nadia. On the platform again, Tammy Lauer. Didn't we just see her lifting?
Yeah, when we thought Tammy was done, she gets right back on the platform.
She's coming back. So last time she was lifting in the women's equipped, and she ended up in the she ended up 5th in the women's equipped. Now she's lifting in the raw division, trying to break into the money on that.
And it's a good lift there for Tammy. Jeff is coming up next, 157.5 kilos, 347 pounds to start off his Bench Pro Series.
What I find interesting is Tammy started off with 77.5 kilos on her equipped bench, even though she was lifting only in a t-shirt and lifting raw. But when she was lifting in the raw division, she opened with 80 kilos, 2.5 kilos more. This is actually kind of funny.
Tammy's magic.
Up next now is my friend Jeff Cohen. Jeff also lifted on Friday.
We are in Flight E, if anybody is following at home. E as an elephant. Nice, slow, and controlled. Pretty consistent first attempt there by Jeff.
Jeff is lifting in the 75 kilo class. Antonio Fazio is up next, and Antonio owns some American records, both junior and open. In the 90 kilo class, it's 225, so he's opening about 20 kilos less than than the record is. There's only 7 lifters in this second flight, with the exception of Tammy Lauer, who lifted in the first flight as a women's equipped lifter, and now she's lifting raw. All of our lifters are going to be men. On the platform right now is Antonio Fazio. Out of New York, the American record holder as both a junior and an open lifter in the 90-kilo class, and just made short work of that 205.
451-pound first attempt for him, and he made it look like nothing. Alex is coming up next. 215 pounds is being loaded on that bar, which is 474 pounds to open up for Alex.
I have been watching Alex do his competitions. He has been a collegiate lifter. He is a referee who contributes back to the sport. New dad, shout out to his little son who's 15 months old back at home. Alex is a 12-time national competitor, and this is his second time back at the Arnold. He's lifting equipped today. We've got 3 men that are lifting equipped. Alex is the first one on the platform, opening with 215 kilos.
Looked pretty solid difficulty-wise, and he gets 3 white lights. Coming up next, the same weight, 215 kilos, which is 474 pounds, is on that bar for Andrew coming up next. He is our third to last lifter, so we've got 2 more benches after him for first attempts. I love the design on his singlet. How awesome is that?
So this is Andrew's first time at the Arnold. Andrew is out of Florida.
Getting settled under that bar exactly where he wants to be. Wow.
Well, that was fast.
Making light work of 215 kilos with 3 white lights. Time to load some weight on the bar, Andrew. Let's see what you're made of. I'll be interested to see how much he jumps between his second and third as well, with how smooth that opener looked. However, it all plays into the strategy, because there is money on the line, folks. There is a lot of money on the line, and joxing for position will happen today. You will see it, I promise. And opening super light could be a strategic play on some of these lifters' parts. Some people are comfortable with larger jumps from first to second and second to third. So we won't truly know until we see some of those third attempts getting plugged in. But we've got Lucas with 242 kilos on the bar, approximately 534 pounds, pulling that bar down, looking pretty smooth, and the judges say that it's good with 3 white lights. 265 kilos, approximately 584 pounds is being loaded on that bar for Tim Anderson.
Tim Anderson is an incredibly experienced athlete on the bench press. He's been a bench press coach for our world teams. He's one of the coaches at the Midland University, which is the first college in the country that started with a powerlifting scholarship. He's brought them to the collegiate nationals, has won with both the equipped and their raw team. He's on the platform right now. He holds the American record in both in raw. He's the M1A at 220 kilos, 464 pounds.
Making lightweight of almost 600 pounds. I have a feeling we're going to see him bench over 600 today. Back to the top. Tammy with a 5-kilo jump, taking 85 kilos for her second attempt. That's 187 pounds.
I find it interesting. She went up another 2.5 kilos over her second attempt when she was lifting equipped, even though she was lifting raw with just a t-shirt. Maybe she used that first flight to just warm up.
You know,
but it's
that's
very
totally
unusual to see that.
Totally
good
possible.
For you.
Push. Come on. Come on. There you go, Tammy. Looked a little difficult for her, but she might have another 2.5 kilos in her. She's got 3 white lights. Let's see if she can push through 87.5 or possibly 90 kilos. Jeff with 165 kilos, 363 pounds loaded on that bar for him.
So with that lift, it moves Tammy into the 4th position in the Raw Women's dot score. On the platform right now is Jeff Cohen, who is in 3rd place on the dot score. He's asked for 165 kilos. That's 365 pounds. Just 2.5 kilos under his personal best qualifying for this meet. Oh, nice.
Looked pretty smooth, difficulty-wise. Big old smile to the camera. He seems extremely happy with it, and he should be because he's got 3 white lights.
Way to go, Jeff. Way to go, my friend. All right, we're bumping it up. Antonio Fazio, 212.5 kilos. This is 468 pounds. Still well below his qualifying total of 225 coming in. Antonio does own the Raw American record for both junior and open in the 90 kilo class for bench press.
Rocking some awesome braids. Shout out to whoever braided his hair this morning. Getting those shoulders dug into the bench exactly where he wants them.
Again, with the bench press in USA Powerlifting, the shoulders have to be in contact with the bench, the buttocks have to be in contact with the bench, and must remain there during the entire lift. And the feet must be flat on the floor. The arms must be straight with the elbows locked at the beginning and the end of the lift, and that was a good lift for Antonio. That moves Antonio into 1st place in the Raw division. And again, with the dot score, when you weigh in, your body weight gives you a coefficient. That coefficient will then be multiplied by your final most successful bench to give you a dot score, which is what allows us to compare across weight classes. On the platform right now is my friend Alex Smith from Texas, 225 kilos on the bar. This is 496 pounds.
Took a 10 kilo jump. His opener looked pretty easy. Slight sticking point in the middle there, but looked pretty consistent on the way up. He's got 3 white lights and a good lift. Might not be taking the biggest jump to his 3rd attempt from there, but it'll be interesting to see where he goes from here.
That places Alex 3rd in the dot score, and 3rd place keeps you in the money. Up next is Andrew Bonner, and he's gone up by 12.5 kilos. He's currently sitting in the 2nd place on the dot score, and with the successful lift in the men's Raw division, he will stay in the 2nd place. And 227.5 kilos is 501. This will tie his qualifying total coming into the Arnold Pro Series bench final.
Wow, and he makes light work of it. Let's see what the judges say.
He's
3
got
white
more in the
lights.
tank, and
Oh, he's got plenty more in the tank. Come on, Andrew. Throw some weight on the bar.
So this brings up the situation where when you have someone who is in the raw, when you're competing against each other in dots coefficients, when you are in bench only, you can change your 3rd attempt bench press twice. The thing is, you cannot have gone past that number in the natural progression of the lift. So that means that we load as lightest to heaviest. And if 2 people ask for the same weight, then we use the lot number to determine the lifting order, and we can't go past that. So there may be some juggling around. There may be some transitions on the final 3rd attempts. On the platform right now is Lucas Preble from Virginia, lifting equipped.
Pretty solid second attempt, looked pretty smooth, and the judges say that it's good with 3 white lights. It'll be interesting to see where he jumps to next, currently in second place, with Tim Anderson coming up next, who's in first place right now. 272 pounds on that bar. That is almost a dead even 600 pounds.
Tim, world team coach, collegiate coach, world team competitor.
Wow. Have you ever seen 600 pounds move like that? Because it moved really easy. The speed of that was fast, and he's got 3 white lights and a good lift.
We're back to Tammy Lauer, and she's asked for 87.5 kilos.
All right.
She missed it on her first flight. She went, so now she's asked for it again.
But raw.
This time she's lifting still raw, but it's in the raw division, and this will keep her in solidly in 4th place for the dot score, which is interesting because Tammy is a master's lifter. She is, okay, where is she?
We just had Tim Anderson submit his 3rd attempt, and he's going for 300 kilos.
Awesome.
That'll be interesting to see at the end of this flight. But let's see Tammy move this 87.5 kilo bench. Come on, Tammy. Just a little bit too much for her today. Still a phenomenal job. She has been lifting heavy weight all weekend. You should be so proud of yourself. Coming up next, we've got Jeff Cohen. 170 kilos being loaded onto that bar. That is 374 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the last benches of the day.
Maryland lifter Jeff Cohen, he's going to try and increase his personal best by 2.5 kilos. And in bench press, 2.5 kilos is a lot. Jeff only weighed in at 68 kilos. That's just barely 150. He's got 374 pounds on that bar. That's double his body weight.
Man, and it even looks like he might have had a little more weight in him because that moved really well. And the judges say that it is... What did the judges say? We're waiting on the calls.
The judges are going to hold up their cards, and we'll find out if it's a good lift that way. Jeff finishes in 3rd place in the dot score. That means that he finishes in the money at $500. Next up is going to be Antonio. I'm sorry, and I have been saying his name incorrectly. My apologies to Antonino's family at home. Antonino Fazio is on the platform from New York, our raw American record holder in both the junior and open division, 90 kilos. He's got 217.5 kilos on the bar. Kept driving, locked it out. Let's see what the referees have to say.
Looking for those white lights.
The referees held up their cards, and it is a good lift for Antonino. He is now in 1st place in the raw division at this time. The only person who might be able to catch him would be Andrew Bonner, who is coming after him, and he is currently in the 2nd place. Up next is going to be Alex Smith, who's on the platform right now, 230 kilos. This is 507 pounds, and this is under his qualifying total of 242, but he's trying to finish out a 3-for-3 day. Currently in third place. With this lift, it would keep him in third place, but still in the money.
Come on, Alex. Push. Just a little bit too much weight for him today. Still walking away with a whopping 225 kilo second attempt. Coming up next, taking a 7.5 kilo jump, Andrew is going for 235 kilos. That's approximately 518 pounds. He is our last raw third attempt of the day.
This is a massive increase over his personal best qualifier that he had to come into this competition. His previous best was 227.5 kilos. This is 235. That's a 7.5 kilo increase, 15 pounds over his previous best.
Oh, so
Unfortunately,
close.
we're going to have to keep it at 227.5 and work on it in the future.
Just a little bit too much weight for him today. We have 2 more lifts. We have 255 kilos, 562 pounds getting loaded on that bar for Lucas. He is going to take second place today.
Virginia lifter Lucas Pribble on the platform.
Come on, push, drive, up, up, up. Let's see what the judges have to say. He drove through that one. He fought for it. He wants it.
We're waiting.
It's
good. The
ladies and
referees held
gentlemen.
up their cards while we were waiting for the scoring program. The referees held up 3 white cards, and it is a good lift for Lucas Pribble. He started in second place before that lift, finishes in second place. Our final lifter, Tim Anderson, coach at Midland University, coach of world bench teams.
661 pounds on that bar. He took a crazy big jump. He took 27.5 kilos.
He's currently in first place based on the DOTS formula.
Come on, Tim. Come on, Tim.
And will not lose it. He will maintain it no matter what this lift says.
I think they were waiting for
I'm
his
not sure that
elbows to
he
lock
was
out.
fully locked out. We're waiting for the referees, though.
I think they were waiting for his elbows to lock out and didn't quite see it, so didn't give him that rack command. Let's see what the judges say.
The referees are holding up a blue card at this time.
All right, they're coming to us. Well, that's the end of the Bench Pro Series, and it has been a pleasure. We have seen records broken. We have seen some heavy weight being lifted today.
We've got money to spend, money to hand out now. $2,000 to the first place winners, $1,000 to the second place, and $500 to the third place. So our winners are. Let's go over our winners for both the equipped as well as the raw.
Let's see. So in the women's equipped, taking first place, we have Stephanie. Then in second place for women's equipped, we have Charlene. And in third place, we have Sophia. And for the raw lifters, in first place, we have Jen Thompson. In second place for the women's raw, we have Natalie Richardson. And in the third place women's raw, we have Natalie.
For the men, we had three lifters, both in the raw and the equipped division. In the equipped division, Tim Anderson finished out first, Lucas Pribble, then Alex Smith. In the raw division, Andrew Bonner, Antonino Fazio, and then finally Jeff Cohen, all in the money. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us here at the Arnold Sports Festival. We look forward to seeing you again next year, and now we're going to turn it over for the awards.
And thank you to all of our sponsors that came here with us today. If anybody is looking for photo or video